Hey guys, I'm here playing a new game called InMomentum. Just came out for PC on Steam a couple of days ago, currently retailing for $10. And this is a game that's pretty difficult to describe, and the title screen doesn't give you a lot of information here. So the best way to describe it maybe is as a first-person free-running simulator. It's also billed as kind of a multiplayer online first-person racing game. There are problems with that, which we'll touch a little bit later on in this video. So, without further ado, let's get into it. You can see we've got a few modes here. I find it a little bit weird that the tutorial is not only its own standalone mode, but also gets top billing. And then apart from that, we only have single player and multiplayer, so there's not a whole lot of variety that we're going to get here. Let's stick with this map right off the bat, and we've got two modes here, Sphere Hunt and Time Trial. I'll explain those once you get in. And 4 different difficulty modes, and we're going to go with Gamer, the second lowest of them, because I'm still kind of a novice at this game. So, as mentioned, this is a first-person free-running simulator. Between those two different modes, Sphere Hunt and Time Trial, there's 2 different kind of ways of playing it. One of them is a collecting way, almost like a platforming game, which is where you have to collect every single one of these spheres, shoot these switches to unlock these doors, and then continue on. But I'm playing Time Trial, which means I'm basically just trying to get to the end of the level as fast as possible. Using WASD to move, basically like the caveman simplification for the controls in this game is keyboard move, mouse control looking. Maybe that's a little bit advanced vocabulary for a caveman, but I digress. So we're just using the mouse to look around here and the keyboard to navigate. I won't bore you with the actual specifics of the controls, but suffice to say you're going to want a standalone mouse and, you know, a keyboard that feels good, an ergonomically sound keyboard. Now, we're just basically trying to get to the end of the level in this video, and every one of these gates actually serves as kind of like a respawn point. So should we fall off the map at some point, we'll respawn there. And actually, falling off the map is something that does happen quite a bit. So you can see, we can't just do horizontal jumps, or we have other abilities than just regular horizontal jumps. What am I talking about? Regular jumps like this. We can also do jumps off walls, which are actually essential to keeping us in the game. Now, the general thesis of the game, or its central conceit, I suppose you could say, is that we will always want to be moving. ABM, always be moving. We want to be moving as fast as possible. Oh, Lord, this is my death. As fast as possible and as much as possible. We don't want to stop. Unfortunately, this doesn't really fit in well with my playstyle, because there's the gates, the respawn gates here are few and far between, so you never want to get yourself into a position where you can't, like you're so far away from a gate that when you die, you're going to respawn like 2 minutes behind yourself. That was actually the fastest I think I've ever run that level. I've only played it a couple times, so you can see the leaderboards down here. I did it in about 1 minute 37 seconds. That was actually kind of fun. Let's play a little bit of a... Let's do a repeat, but on a different level. Let's go back to single player. Let's move on to the next level, Celerity. I don't want to show off too much because there's only 12 levels in the game. Oh, I picked Sphere Hunt by accident. I actually don't like Sphere Hunt. It's a game where you're supposed to be, it feels like you're supposed to be trying to beat your own times and like establish yourself as #1 on the leaderboard. So this game mode where you have to collect every single sphere or you can't actually beat the level, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But anyway, yeah. So like one of the complaints I have with this game, and we'll see it a little bit. Oh. On these levels right here, particularly this level is a pain in the ass for it. It emphasizes you want to go as fast as possible, always. But you also need to be careful because the gates are so far apart, as I mentioned. So you're kind of taking your time, or at least I'm taking my time on all of this, which kind of betrays the sense of speed that actually makes this game fun when you really get going as fast as you can go. There we go, let's pick that one up. And also, I feel like Sphere Hunt is totally... It runs counterintuitive to what you would want out of this game. You definitely want the sense of speed. You don't want to be going around collecting projectiles. It kind of reeks of... Maybe not reeks, that's a strong word, but it smacks, let's put it that way, of, oh shit, we need some more content on this game or we can't charge $10 for it on Steam. But rather than design some new levels, let's just put some spheres in every level. Of course, I could be totally way off base. That's just the way it seems to me. Aesthetically, I like absolutely everything about this game. The design is pretty minimalistic. Graphically, I think it looks fantastic. And orally, in terms of audio as well, I think music and sound effects, absolutely fine. It's a beautiful game, in my opinion. But gameplay-wise, I'm not dissing the game that much. I think it's well made. But at $10, I think it's kind of hard to recommend considering the lack of content here. So let's try to make this jump here. Oh, there we go. And actually, you'll see my primary complaint with the game in just a minute. One of the cool things about the game, though, as I vacillate here between, or oscillate, I suppose, between good things and bad things, is that you can really take alternate routes through the level. So you can see here, the last time I took that lower route. I could definitely take the higher route this time. This is more useful when you're playing a time trial, though, because right now I have to always be on the lookout for spheres and make sure that I pick all of them up. Otherwise, I can't complete the level. Like, for example, I left a sphere back there. I got to go back and get it. And the kind of shitty thing about it is that if you forget a sphere and you don't notice, it just won't let you go through the final thing. It'll never give you a notification like, oh, you missed a sphere back here. You actually have to run back and find it wherever you may have left it in the level, which is a total pain in the ass. Let's pick this. Oh, god damn it. Land on the... There we go. So with that, we'll go through this gate. That actually went surprisingly well. I usually suck more dick at that part. So you can do an air jump as well. Control-wise, the game controls well, and oftentimes it does a good job of putting you in that flow state where you're really not thinking about what you're doing. You're just doing it. That was another thing that Mirror's Edge did really well, and you know, I feel kind of like a dick comparing this game, which is a $10 game developed by presumably a small team over at Digital Arrow, to a game like Mirror's Edge, which is, well, if not developed, at the very least published by EA, one of the largest publisher on Earth, I think. Them or Activision, I can't remember. But that's kind of what you're competing with. I mean, considering this game is so clearly inspired by Mirror's Edge, and also feels a little bit like Photonica, a game I talked about earlier this winter. I mean, Mirror's Edge is 3 years old now. You can probably pick up Mirror's Edge for $10. In fact, I think you could pick up Mirror's Edge for $10, or if not less, in one of the recent Steam sales. So that's what this game's competing with. Obviously, it doesn't have the same kind of content or value proposition, really, as Mirror's Edge, but it's fun in its own right, if not easy to recommend. Let's get down here. Easy to recommend at full price, anyway. Let's come down here, pick up some of these spheres. I've probably missed some a long way, and that's the kind of rub of this situation. Again, this is a perfect example of one thing I don't like about this game is, you know, I was doing pretty well, but now I've fallen, so I've been taken back to this gate, which is like a minute behind in terms of progress from where I was. So now I've got to repeat those sections over and over, and I understand that builds skill. It also builds a little bit of resentment, if I don't say so myself. If I do say so myself. Mixing up my turns of phrase here. That's the kind of game InMomentum is. And also, like, that goes against the nature of the game, which is, like, trying to get as fast as possible. Gotta backtrack and get these spheres? Come on! I just want to go fast! This should be made like a first-person Sonic game, but instead it's like a, you know, first-person... What's a game where you have to collect a lot of things before you can move on? I don't know, first-person Crash Bandicoot game or something. Actually, that would be awesome. I think I haven't missed any, but we'll see as we come up here. Level design is actually really good as well. I can't harp on the level design for being bad. Although sometimes it does feel like you can make jumps like that and you end up just falling flat on your face. Let's just play it cool, because obviously I just want to make sure I get to the end so I can show off the multiplayer. Hopefully. And you'll see why that hopefully becomes important soon. So we're actually getting up a pretty good head of steam here. Get ahead of steam because that's the distribution model for the game. The distribution platform for the... Oh! I definitely left one back there. Cut into my awesome Steam joke. 46, only 4 more. Where are they? There's 1, 2... Oh! And look at this! Textbook example. I mean, it is my own fucking fault, obviously, that I fell off, but still, it's kind of... It feels like they had people test this game who were too good at it, or maybe they tested the game themselves. I know there was an open beta. But, seems like the difficulty is turned up a little bit too high. And remember, I think I'm still playing this on casual, or if not casual, I'm playing it on gamer, which is the second lowest difficulty setting. Although this feels exactly the same as casual to me. I'm not sure what changes there are. There's no reason there couldn't be like 2 or 3 more gates. Maybe even 1 more gate on the path that I just took. So I don't have to repeat this section that I've quite clearly mastered over and over. And this is like a modern game. It's all about the sense of speed. It's not about difficulty. At least it doesn't seem like it's about difficulty. You don't feel that rewarded when you complete something either. But anyway. Oh, okay, now let's play it cool. Where do we want to go from here? You want to go up. Okay, that's fine by me. Come down here and collect these last few. And, yep, turns out I lost one. Or I missed one. So we'll pick up this one, but we can't go through... Ah, there it is right there. Okay, thankfully it wasn't too far away. Let's go back here. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That's it. I'm just gonna exit that level. Alright, so now, here's the principal problem with InMomentum. It's been billed as this competitive online first-person racing game. Like, the single player exists, but it seemed like the marketing push was really focused around the multiplayer. So let's go check that out. Quick game. Doesn't exist. Browse games. Let's update the list here. Only one guy. Actually, I have never seen a game online in this before. Let's join his game and see what's up. I mean, double click on him. Click join game. Oh, here we go. It's loading. And then it just kicks me back to the title screen. So I'm not sure what's up with that. And also, there's only 2 people online in this game right now, or at least 2 people that I can see. At least maybe they weed out people with a higher ping. But there's only 2 people online with this game. It's not really a competitive online experience. I mean, in the tutorial, there's things like Mario Kart power-ups that you can use on yourself to like give you increased speed, or against your opponents, like hit him with a poison attack to slow him down. With only 2 people online, I'm not sure how much of a good community you can foster, or how often you're going to be able to play online. So it's an unfortunate like chicken egg situation where I can't really wholeheartedly recommend the game at full price, considering it seems like more than half of the game in terms of this multiplayer is basically non-functioning, considering the lack of community. But also, there's never going to be a community unless people actually buy the game. But I can't recommend you buy the game because there's no community, but there's never going to be a community unless people buy the game. Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed again. Let's update the list, see if I'm talking out of my ass. Still just this one guy. Let's try to join his game. Maybe I'll click on him again. Join game. Now it just kicks me back to the title screen. So I'm not really sure what's up with that. But anyway, this has been InMomentum. Currently available for $10 on Steam. I think you've seen pretty much everything there is to see. My final verdict on this one, or I guess I should say initial verdict. I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it, but my initial verdict, $10 is kind of steep for this. And I normally don't say that. I'm normally an advocate of saying, oh, you know what, it's only $10. But $10 for this seems kind of steep considering the content that's available. By all means, if it looks like this is up your alley, go ahead and pick it up. It's not going to break the bank. But if it looks like you're on the fence for this one, you watch the video and you say, it looks kind of cool, but I'm a little bit hesitant, I would heartily recommend you wait for the inevitable Steam sale. I mean, right now it's $8 because it's 20% off in its first week. But it will go up to $10 after that. But then, for Christmas, I imagine this game will probably get slashed a little bit in the Steam sale. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm not prophetic. But, you know, for $5, this is something that I think you could justify picking up if it looks interesting. Otherwise, I would maybe pass on InMomentum. It is what it is, and it does what it does okay. But the lack of multiplayer, at least the lack of functional multiplayer, again, it could just be an issue with me, but it doesn't really reflect well on the gaming experience right now. Single player is alright, but I can't see myself really spending that much time with it. Anyway, this has been another Let's Look At. I'm Northernlion, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.